heart don't lie. You're all that I need and more. Made me that man I can see before. Girl, you healed my heart when it was shattered into pieces. And I'm so in love, ain't no secret. I'm stuck on you. Yeah, like my favorite song. Baby, I'm stuck on you. And with you is right where I belong. I'm stuck on you. And I can't get you out of my head. I'm stuck on you. I'm stuck on you. Sweeter than a dozen roses.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talks with Shay. I appreciate you clicking on this link and giving us some of your time. I greatly just appreciate this space that we're in. So I want y'all to come on back, grab a snack, and or whatever you're doing. You can listen to this while you're at the gym. You can listen to this while you're cleaning. You can listen to this while you're on your way to sleep. I don't care what you do, just click on it and listen, okay? So I have two powerful guests to the stage today, Mr. and Mrs. Carlton and Atarbia Williams. Y'all give them a hand.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up?
We're just gonna have a conversation today. Y'all know I started the same way. We're just having a conversation. And I do feel like, some things are meant to be private, but some things are meant to be shared. Because us as the people of God, we need to make sure that we're leading the people and setting examples just in case somebody out here don't know.
True.
Oh, what we gonna do? We gonna hide it and then everybody be in the dark?
Right.
No light.
I like transparency, because transparency is what really what's really needed, especially in this day and time. Because a lot of people are blinded about what real love is, what really goes on in the home. And I ain't trying to talk about y'all church folks, but hey, we need to be whooped. And I'm talking about with the truth and get out of this this mindset of what we was learned from our grandmama in church. No disrespecting to them, is right. It was right to an extent. I'll put it in that way. But there was a whole lot that they kept behind. It wasn't transparent about, and that is something I think we really need to talk about.
I was having a conversation in a circle the other day, and to your point, they showed us what it is, but they didn't show us how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we're stumbling into how to get there just in life, whether it be in love, jobs, relationship, whatever, well, how did you make it here and you still got your mind? You still got your head on your shoulders. What happened? And then they give you a little bit and they take it back. And then they give you a little bit more and they take it back. No, I need for you to lay this out on the table and be absolutely honest about what happens. What do I do after I pray about it? You telling me to go pray about it.
Right.
And I'm doing exactly what you said. And I'm trusting in God to do A, B, and C. But X, Y, Z, how do I get there?
It don't happen that way. Of course, we've been married 22 years now.
21.
20? We've been together 22 years, been married 21 years, and I'll tell you, these 21 years have been what they say trial and trial and error. That's what goes on in a lot of relationships. Like you said, a lot of time people look at relationships, look at marriages, even 21 years, and say, "Oh man, that's a blessing." It is a blessing, but it's a blessing to those out there. But behind these walls, man, it's hell on high waters. And I said it in a respectful way because we are learning each other. Look at how she's looking at me now.
I seen it.
That she had to deal with a whole lot of Carlton that the world had never seen, not even my parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a lot about adjusting ourselves to each other, to our different lifestyle. That played a big part in it,
Mm-hmm.
and just really getting to know each other. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't really look at in the marriage. We look at the bells and whistles, but we don't look at the process. And the process, it can be something that is damaging, or it can be something that is motivating. It just depends on how you work it. Baby, you want to say something about it?
Um, like you said, we've been together for 22 years. Got married when I was 19. He was with 22,
I was 20 something.
22, 23, whatever.
Yeah.
The basics was you know how to cook and clean. And so I was like, I thought, it was gonna be easy.
Uh-huh.
Come to find out, no. I was talking to my coworker and I was telling her because she was looking at how we are today.
Uh-huh.
And I was telling her, no, it has not always been that way. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, girl, I was like, it was times we about ready to take each other out of here.
Come on now, you can't tell them that.
I was like, and I mean, it was times where, we talk about it, with times where I really felt like divorce was the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just really felt like, it's just time to just separate or whatever, just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But no, divorce was not the answer. It was
Uh-huh.
not the answer. And when when you were saying you pray about it and stuff, they said you have to do more than just. I had to do more than pray.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really go in that Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really. I was going to seminars when people be up preaching. I'm talking about I was listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day his grandmother, she called me in the office, and she said, yeah, we talked after Bible study, and she said, you need to be humble.
They talking about me behind my back. That's what it was.
No, she was talking about me. She was talking about me. And she said she was looking at me during church service. And she said that I need to be humble. I didn't even know what humble meant.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that. I mean, I'm like, what is that? And so I just didn't take it and toss it away. I began to like look it up and read on it. And I had a hard time with forgiving. And so that's what really caused a lot of trouble, even in communication, our marriage. I would hold on to stuff, and I had to learn how to forgive,
Mm-hmm.
and really find out what was the problem, and we move on from there.
So how do you all like attack that? Because we do recognize that it is an attack. So how do you attack it back? Look, I don't like you today. And you got to give the stank face between the two of you. You know what I mean? So how do you go back and attack that with love?
You want to go first? I'll go first. One of the best ways to attack that is really move yourself out of the way, because of a lot of times we put our feelings, we get stuck in our feelings, and we make it all about us. And so we had to learn to get our feelings out of the way and start looking at it from our spouse's point of view, seeing what they see, trying to get an understanding on what they understand, and really kind of find a way to communicate, because realistically, that's what solved the problem. Being able to communicate. One of the ways that she did and communicated with me, because I was a hothead. I would get angry, start yelling, punching holes in walls, and all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that y'all don't see.
I'm not going to go ahead.
But one of her ways of communicating with me, a lot of times she was afraid to approach me, because I would get the hothead, or I didn't want to listen. So her way or her method to reaching me were through letter. She would write it down how she was feeling on letter and give it to me that way, and that not only did it give me the mindset to really listen to this, it also gave me the opportunity to process what was she was feeling, because I began, as I was reading, I was, your words are powerful and your words have emotions with it.
Right.
And so as I was reading her words, I was seeing the hurt that I had caused. Sometime I was trying to find, to be honest, I was trying to find a way to come back at her on this one. No, you said this, but I did this, but that
So
was
it
that was
humbled you, in a way, you seeing it allowed you to humble yourself as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really did.
Yeah. That's a great write the letter. That's a great
Make it plain.
Hey, she was Bible on that.
Make it plain.
So did you come up with that yourself, or was it something that you learned to do on that method of communication? How did you come up with that?
When we first got together, he used to always write me letters. I mean, if I can show you, I keep all of it. And my mom, she talked to me and she said what she liked about his letters is that you could tell it was from the heart.
Shout out to your beautiful mom. I just wanted to plug her.
It was from the heart.
Yeah.
And anytime like we would get into arguments or whatever, he would always write a letter and he'll get a rose and he'll have it laid out on the bed. And it was so nice because, when we first got married, we didn't, our finances is nothing like it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just go get a rose, and sometimes he got a piece of chocolate and he would lay it on the bed. And so I realized with him, writing letters. So I just turned around, when he would, get mad or whatever, we distance ourselves from each other.
Uh-huh.
And I'll just get in the room and I just write down to him how I felt, and either I handed it to him or I just lay it somewhere where I know he can see it. And next thing you know, he'll read, and I can tell he'll read it. When I read it, he come. So I can tell when he'll read it. So, but I think back on like what Pastor TJ said a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is wrong with disagreement in marriage.
Okay.
Because when you disagree in marriage and when you come talk about it, you learn about each other.
Absolutely.
So, ain't nothing wrong with going through disagreements in marriage.
Right.
It just building a relationship.
So what I'm hearing is, and I'm glad you made that point at the end, is you allowed yourself the opportunity to get to know him, to know how to speak to him. Same with him. He the time and opportunity to get to know you, learn how to start speaking to you. And of course that had to grow over time.
Yeah, it did. It did.
We want to be right. I don't care who you are. You want to be right. You don't want to be.
See, that was me. That was me.
I think
that was me. Because I felt like I am not apologizing when I know what I told him was right. Yeah. And I struggle with that bad.
She said that a lot too.
I struggle with that bad. My mama used to have to come talk to me. Because I just felt like I am not apologizing and I know I'm right.
Right.
I find that you can't do that.
Would you rather be right, or would you rather? I'll wait. I'll wait.
Right,
okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
When you think about that song from I think it's Marvin Gaye, "If Loving You Is Wrong, Then I Don't Want to Be Right." Marvin Gaye, who is that?
But I got you. I know the song.
The song. But when you look at that, it's almost like you're saying to yourself, "I'm going to hold on to who I am," and you just going to have to accept it. But when you start processing that and really start looking into it, you're like, okay, so if I really want to be with you, then I'm going to have to be wrong although I'm right, or if I'm right, then I'm just gonna have to be wrong in order to win my love and affection for you. And that
Right.
was one of the things I learned about that.
It appears that you guys have learned how to um come to a happy median. So how do you get there? Like after there's an argument, um she spoke about writing letters. How do you overcome that, Tay? Well, we call you Tay. His name
Yeah.
is Martin on the screen, but we call you Tay.
Yeah. So after that question again, I want to make sure I answer it right.
So after, after the argument or whatever, how do you approach your wife? Even though you feel like you're right or whatever, I know that she writes letters, or whatever. How do you, start that initial contact trying to inch back in there? How do you do that?
Well, kind of like you said, ease your way in there. As he said on Two Can Play the Game, test the waters. But not with other people. To begin to test the water with your relationship. Just kind of see how they're feeling. If it's a moment of whether they want to reconcile, then it'll come, because like you said, that was the time when I tried to go to her, when I knew that I had messed up and I knew that I was wrong, on a lot of occasions.
Mhm.
And once I got to the point that I let my ego down to get out the way, because that was a major biggie right there. Once I began to let my ego get out the way, I began to approach her, and sometimes she made me madder because she wouldn't accept my apology. But I had to learn, as I said on Tyler Perry, when you're in a woman's heart, you're in, and when you're out, you're out. And so I had to learn with that. I had to give her a space. I had to go to her, apologize to her, and sometimes, like you said, I used to love. Well, I still love to write, but I don't do it like I used to do. But what I would do is I would write her a love letter or something, and there have been times where she ripped it up. And that just set me on fire.
Sound like me.
But once everything cools down and calms down, then we would ease our way back into our relationship. We would, as my show called Talk About It, we would talk about it. We would ease it in there, a little bit at a time, pieces at a time. Sometimes we was up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, in different rooms, and God knows both of us were sleepy, but we didn't want to, as they say, go to bed mad or angry or whatever. And we'll slowly ease our way and start talking with each other, and that's how we reconcile. And sometimes we may, okay, I'm gonna be nice. We on camera. I'm gonna be nice.
We know. Y'all got a starting five.
Yeah.
So, it's just absolutely apparent that you all have created safe spaces for each other. How important is it to create a safe space, in your marriage? How important is that?
Babe, you want to go with that?
You started and I.
Okay. It is important because that safe space gives you guys opportunity to grow, and it's as you guys begin to grow, you begin to learn more about each other as well. You learn, as Gary Chapman said, about the love languages. We start, even though at that time I didn't know about Gary Chapman, but that one of the things that builds up to it. You experience each other, know what set each other off, what causes each other to respond, and how to respond.
Ooh.
So that's something that's very you have to be very intentional about.
Right. Respond and how to respond.
And that's what we had to learn. It didn't come by the time you say I do. it doesn't come that fast. I'm talking about we really had to almost like study
Mm-hmm.
each other and really find out. I'm talking about it took getting out to ourselves a lot of times. Like, what wrong with them? Or did I do anything?
Hey.
What did and
Like,
I
bro,
mean,
she tripping or something.
yeah. So I'm talking about it took. I mean, going before God, Lord God, my wrongs, He, what to do,
Right.
and but like I said, it took getting out to, we had to get out to ourselves a lot,
Okay.
and his timing, me and his time, we got different times, and so finding that time, like I said, with God, with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and really had to learn how to be patient.
Ooh.
That's a biggie.
Um,
That's a biggie.
because sometimes your answer is not gonna come right away.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my husband, we didn't find out what was wrong with me till weeks later. Don't say it's sorry. And still, we be able to apologize. And still, didn't,
Right.
well,
Right.
I'm saying sorry. I'm gonna get that part out of the way.
Right.
But still, though, like, okay, can you tell me what I did wrong? Or what? So, it's just a lot in marriage. Like my husband said, it's not all about the beautiful dress and and stuff like that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot, and
Awesome.
I would say a lot of praying, a lot of going.
Un- Understandably so. So, how, what do you guys think is because, like you said, to your point, you said that it's not all about the beautiful dress and the party and all the festive stuff that's connected with marriage, right? This is some really, really hard work. And as a single woman, I have my couple picks of, everybody has a model. No, you don't want to say, oh, I want to be like them. And, oh, this is the power couple. And this is this, but you have your certain people that you're watching. I'm watching y'all. And you kind of want to have like at least a model of what to look for when you start even thinking about marriage. And I'm just gonna say this. Y'all's model help me tell someone no. Thank y'all. The proposal was beautiful, but no.
Hey, I said hurt 9 and later.
Yeah, that's much better. Much better.
Say it again, friend.
Hurt 9 and later. So
No. That's not what that's supposed to look like. I'm gonna holler at you, okay? And you can't, as a single person, when those opportunities present itself, you really got to be connected with God for real, because you got to be able to listen again, so you can see that's not for you. These opportunities these opportunities are going to present themselves over and over again, possibly. You got to know if it's God, or you got to know if it's you being desperate enough to say, oh, well, let me just go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I jump in right here on that?
Please jump in.
Because when you say you jump in on the opportunity to get married, and it's really not ready, you're not ready for it, and you look back down the road and you say, oh, I did that too fast, or Lord, did I really listen to you? It's realistically a time where you got to be honest with yourself, and a lot of time that's what a lot of are married now, even people that have got divorced, they didn't take the time, to really say, okay, I got to be realistic with myself, be transparent with myself.
Yes.
Like my wife say, we pray, we talk to God, we question God, we read the Bible, but the thing is, are you being transparent with yourself? Because of like you said, sometimes we see things and we see people lifestyles and all, and we'll be like, that's what I want. I see that happening. That's what I desire. and then you jump in on this opportunity till you really miss out on the real opportunity. And that's something that people have to be mindful of and be very careful about.
Right. That
Also,
I was
oh,
actually
okay.
to that. You jumped in at the right time because that's what I was going into that to ask you guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Also, I want to say, when you're praying before God, you have to really be able to really listen to what God has to say, because what you might be looking for, that may not be what God intended for you to have.
Yes, ma'am.
Because he really was not, he had told his mom that he wanted a white lady.
I tried not to laugh.
you know,
She just gonna put me on blast right there.
and that's what he said. He told his mom, he said, I'm marrying somebody white.
And I got a reason for that, but I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you about that later.
Okay. But look what happened. I am far from that. So, but look what happened. And, I've heard, you could be looking at somebody, you might think that, he looks nice, good career, looking at all this stuff on the outside.
Yes, ma'am.
But God be telling you, I know what you're looking at. You looking at this, that he well established. But God be like, that's not who I want for you.
Telling you.
That's not who I want. He might put you with somebody that might got poor credit or whatever, but it's to help him out.
Right.
Because you build each other up, in marriage. So I think that's what happens with a lot of people as well. They may not come perfect. And, like they said, a devil in the sky, they may not come that way. They might come where you be like, this is not what I prayed for, I asked for, but God is like, I heard your prayers and stuff. That this is, and he, like I said, he could be somebody that may not, have it all, but he treats you right.
Absolutely.
So, that's another thing that can be our, downfalls as well.
Absolutely. Love that. I love that. So I think we need to also understand that marriage could perhaps be a ministry. And that's how I talk about it, Tay, as that is the root. And just to plug this in, Tay don't never let nobody know when he coming on.
Well,
oh yeah,
I'll make sure I keep that note so I can get better at that. And I
up early in the mornings getting ready for work, and here go Tay at 6 o'clock in the morning. What, Tay? You didn't let me know I don't miss half the show. But I be listening, and recognizing that, and I'm telling you, I really be listening, Tay.
Thank you.
Yeah, some good hymns, okay?
Yes,
so, recognizing that marriage is a ministry, what would you say to your younger selves, where you are now, and if you could talk to your younger selves and talk to a younger version of yourselves, meaning young couples or even old couples trying to, come through this marriage thing, what kind of advice would you give them from start to finish based on things that you've learned?
Well, the first thing is that I would tell my younger self, as well as some the younger people that are in a relationship, it's not about you. That's the first thing to understand when you're talking about getting into a relationship. Is it's not about you, and a lot of times that's the blindfold that we have on when we go and get involved in relationship. Oh, it's all about I'm getting married because I want to be happy, because I want this, I want that. But realistically, you're getting married to build the other person, and as you pour into that person will pour back into you. It's like what they say is it's like it's an investment. That's what it truly is. It's an investment. Speaking of which, we are working on this ministry. This is our third year now. We got How to Love Your Spouse
Yes.
ministry. This year is actually a conference that is coming off um, Friday night, September the 13th and September the 14th. Going to be right there in the city of Warner Robins, Georgia, at Jireh Christian Ministry,
Come on.
1172. It's going to be 7 o'clock that Friday night and 10 o'clock that Saturday morning until about 1:30. And that's a great place to come to invest in your marriage, because we got other couples that is going to be there that's going to hit on a lot of topics like what we're talking about today. I think one of the couples, they've been married before in a previous marriage, and they was divorced, and they have remarried. And so there's a lot of insight that's going to be in this conference. So I encourage you guys to register for this event on Eventbrite /Love Your Spouse. Or else you can contact me, 478-258-1284, or hit me up on Facebook, Carlton Williams, or talk about it.
All
But
right.
those are some of the things.
In the comment section as well. Y'all don't want to miss this.
Yes, ma'am. We'll type that in that comment. But we, to our younger selves, get back to it's really like I was saying. It's all about investing in the other person. Since she put me on the spot, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you the reason why I said that I told my mom that I was going to marry me a white woman or a white girl, because of I was looking at it all about Tay, and I had been hurt by several of us black, and it just started making me look in other direction. But I found out once I met my wife that I was looking at it the wrong way. And it was even asked to me, not knowing that I was getting ready to meet my wife. It was asked to me, said, so you wouldn't go back and date no more black women? I said, well, to be honest with you, I said I would, but I would have to know that it is God sent and God ordained, because I was tired of being hurt. Using my gift to, try to show people love, and all at the same time, I was showing them love, but I was really trying to promote myself. And then once I began to understand that, that's when God began to bring us together. Before I met my wife, there was this young lady that I had been dating for a number of years, and I was getting ready to ask for her hand in marriage. And I remember just like yesterday, and this has been over 30 some years ago, I began to pray and ask God. I said, well, Lord, this, that, and the other, doing all my thing, trying to do this the Christian way. I said, Lord, I want to marry this young lady. And if she's not the person for me, then let us break up. And all these years we've been together, we never talked in the morning on the phone. This was a Tuesday night when I prayed this prayer with sincerity. She called me Wednesday morning before 9 o'clock and said, man, my nickname was Man. She said, man, I don't think this is going to work. I said, what do you mean? I had got mad and got in my feelings and all again. She said, I don't think it's going to work. And I realized then that God hears our prayer and he answers us, just not in the way that we expect him.
Yes.
So I'm going to let my wife talk, because I know I don't talk a little bit, but to my younger self, to the younger couple, even to some of these older couples,
yeah,
the main thing I would tell them is, in the relationship, it is not all about you. It is about, the other person. And that's something they need to really look forward to and look into.
absolutely. Great stuff. Great stuff. Back to you, Atarvia.
I would tell people to make sure they're with someone for the right reason. Don't get with anyone for security. Don't get with anyone for finances. Don't
Come on, girl.
get with anyone because I'm just tired. You don't want to be lonely,
Mm-hmm.
because oh, you're gonna have financial problems. You're gonna, have times where being lonely. You're going to go through those things, but you have to make sure that when you find someone that it's that person you want to be with.
That's
It's
right.
that person that you know it's not about it's that person that you really want to spend the rest of your life with.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we find each other at an early age. I'm glad. I know that there has been other couples, people that have, even my parents,
Mhm.
went through divorce.
Right.
But it's a learning, it's a learn for them as well. But to tell them to make sure that there's someone that you love, there's someone you connect with.
Right. Who
So,
you
so
like I know a lot of people jump in relationship and then jump into marriage and you're not even connected. Like
yeah,
how are you even operating?
yeah,
It's kind of a sad thing, and that's also things that myself and other single people we're watching this, and it's like, no, I don't want that. I
mhm,
don't even know what I want right now, but I know I don't want that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Because you want somebody. I mean, and like I tell people, it really doesn't take long to find out if that's the person for you.
yes, ma'am.
It doesn't. And so, like I said, find someone that you connect with. It's like when y'all around each other, you
Yes,
fit, you sense that strong, connection.
absolutely.
And like I said, even though we come from two different backgrounds or whatever, his teachings and stuff like that, it's still when we came together, we felt that connection with each other.
Right.
So
I know Tay stepped away, but I want to
yeah.
ask you that question, and then when he gets back, I want to ask him that question also. That
Okay.
same question.
Okay.
Do you see your life now without your husband? Can you even imagine life without your husband right now?
I can't. I can't. I can't.
I love
Oh, I can't. Oh, as we don't hit that subject, and I don't know, what we would do if something was to happen,
yeah, yeah.
and oh, I mean, I don't know. I think I'd be in a basket case.
I
I don't think
know
I could do it, but
you guys fit so
uh,
well with
mhm.
each other. It's like, okay, Tay and Tommy. Tay and Tommy. Y'all just fit. And so that just posed the question for me, like,
uh,
what, do you see yourself without your husband? You know what I'm saying?
I can't. I can't. I can't even see myself with somebody else.
No.
I can't.
So you missed a little bit, Tay. So she finished up.
Okay.
That's the piece we were talking about. So you didn't miss much. So my question for Atarbia, and you just gonna have to go back and watch the replay to get the answer.
Yeah.
So I asked her, I said, do you even see your life without your husband? So I have the same question for you. Do you see your life without your wife?
Yes, I do. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, don't please
Oh, don't take it out.
down there fast enough to help me.
But honestly, I do not. I do not. Like you said, when we first sat down, when we first started, there was a point when we was like, you need to go back home with your mama, or you need to go back with your folks. In fact, we did split up at one point in our marriage. I think we were separated 2 weeks.
I know, because it had to be short. Not short, it had to be short. Quick
so
blank.
even, so even doing that 2 weeks or however long it was that we were separated, it really opened up my eyes a whole lot
Oh,
uh, on the value of the things that I had, the woman that I had, the woman that God had blessed me to, not for me to be a benefit to her, but she's the benefit to me.
woo.
Um, a lot of the things that I have, a lot of the things that I have become, because like my wife said, you know, she poured into me. She brought out the best in me. and I think I know for a fact that's what God have done. He have brought us together to bring so that we can bring out the best in each other. But no, I can't imagine my life without my boo.
And
Uh,
I imagine my life without seeing y'all together. So don't play.
well, hey, we all was gonna win on this one.
In closing, and y'all both know I get so emotional about y'all. So I'm trying to hold them back because I be real ugly when I cry. So I don't want to be ugly on this camera. Okay. So Atarbia has been my friend since grade school. You know, I've known her all my entire life. And this woman, this girl, this young lady, I have seen transform from a little girl to now a beautiful woman, has been the same person the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know we call her Tabby, y'all. Her name is Atarbia on the screen. Tabby. And I know Tabby will put you in a headlock. I know this.
Yeah, yeah.
But she is the sweetest, most gentle, most genuine, most humble person ever, you know? And one thing I love seeing as being her friend for all these years, please don't cry, Shayla, is seeing her with somebody that loves her correctly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we want that for you too.
Yes, ma'am. It's coming.
I will sit down and cry now.
It's coming. I
Camera.
believe
I'm
it.
on this phone. But I do appreciate that. And I want that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
That for myself. And God gonna do it.
He
He
is.
is.
God
He
gonna
is.
and
He is.
I've learned patience during this time. And I've learned to better myself while I wait. Oh God, that's a different show.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
better myself. God has humbled me so much I can change my middle name to humbleness.
Mm.
Right. Because Shayla is something else.
You-
Shayla on her way, and sometimes Shayla don't be humble. Like, who is you talking to?
and see, that's part of the whole process. That's part of that process because if we realistically, if we get what we want before we are ready for it, before God mature us, we're gonna mess it up.
Mess it up.
And a lot of times we don't realize it. As I was talking with a friend the other day, God had put me in a place of like you said earlier. This is how I turned into ministry. I didn't know this is where God was leading me. But as I was talking to a friend the other day, and that same question came up, it's like, well, why didn't I get this person sooner? I said because like it is with my wife. If I had gotten her sooner, because a lot of times she was like, I wish that we could have got together when, some things happened in the life. It was like, no, because I wasn't ready and she wasn't ready.
That's right.
So God knew that I gotta put the brakes on this
Right.
and make sure y'all mature because when y'all begin to mature, that's when I know the thing that he have for us is going to be able to nurture and grow, and that is what's going on in our relationship. And I believe the same thing within all my heart with you, as I told you before. He's going to blow your mind, and I still stand on that to this day. I would take that to my grave. He's going to blow your mind when you least expect it.
Oh,
You just keep holding on. You just keep holding on, my sister.
there was a certain time in my life I didn't believe it. There was a certain time in my life I didn't even see it.
Mm-hmm.
And having to turn down a proposal. Now, Lord, really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I prayed for this now, and I'm having to turn it down. But look, I'm gonna listen because I've already been through these several bumps in the road.
Right.
And frankly, I'm getting nauseated because I'm tired of bumping. So I don't want to be nauseated in the spirit right now because I'm tired of bumping. You know. So, I think when we when we are humble, we start to protect ourselves a lot more than we did in the past when we thought we knew everything. So, honey, sometimes we just think we know more than God.
Yeah, true.
And we end up messing it up and messing ourselves up and messing up ourselves every time, right?
Yeah.
At this point in time, I would say if I could ask God for anything by watching you and couples like you, I desire God to put me in a safe place. And if you do not feel safe, if you don't look safe, if you don't feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
if safe is not within your whole vocabulary,
Yeah.
it's not in your spirit, I will not let you get connected to me because God has blessed me to be able to love myself enough to tell you no and still be okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yeah.
the thing was, oh, I'm 40 and I'm still single, and it's fine too.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I am
It
not
is.
the church rush me. I'm not gonna let my family rush me, and
Uh-huh.
our circles rush me. And
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be old and all this kind of stuff, an old maid or whatever. Well, guess what? I might be an old maid, but I'm gonna be happy doing it.
I did right. Right.
I had to think
Right.
it depressed me. I'm like, oh God. And now that I'm an empty nester, what am I doing with my life? Because I've been a mom all my life.
Uh-huh.
Like I got pregnant at 19, I had my kid at 20. So
Uh-huh.
like, oh, my whole life I've been a mom. And now I don't have that responsibility connected to me. I'm still a mom, of course,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't have that responsibility every single day, that hump that
Uh-huh.
day anymore. Lord, I'm gonna be by myself. And now that this time has come, this life is lovely.
Jealous.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking about with the kids.
Okay,
We still got
okay.
3 more in the house.
Yeah, I got 3 more. You almost there. You almost. 'Cause I don't know nobody kids that grew faster than y'all.
Growing like
I
trees.
mean, Chris is about to go to college next year.
That'll be lovely. That'll be a blessing.
It sure would. It sure would. It sure would.
My goodness. But I was, I was afraid of this time coming and I would be still single. But no, like I said, this life is lovely because I had to learn to love myself first.
Mhm.
Giving too much of myself. I had to learn the importance of boundaries. So I don't continue to, allow the behaviors of others and the behaviors against myself to just beat me down to where I'm not going to be no good for nobody.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Right.
So in this place, in this space, I have learned so much about Shayla to where when God sent him,
You gonna know.
Because like we said
You
before,
gonna know.
you had to get yourself right and get yourself prepared because realistically, of course, I don't know what it's like to be a single parent, but realistically, your child would have been your number one focus, so you really wouldn't have had the opportunity to really give him what's due him because your first priority would have been to you
right,
was your child, but
right,
realistically, once you get married, the child is not first. It's your spouse. Your spouse is first. Like we have a house full, and realistically, she's my first, and I'm her first. But even with that,
That's a
we
struggle.
understand that,
Right.
babe, I know I'm your first, but we got a child that needs your attention. Her name is Chrissy, and she'll be climbing all over my back if we didn't have her occupied right now.
right.
But those are some of those challenges, and I mean, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn a lot.
And even in that, um, even when you have children, and you're trying to date and you're trying to, date to marry and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to be very careful who you're allowing in that space.
That's
Right.
true.
Because you have to create a safe space for not only yourself, but for
Yeah.
your child, for the
Right.
Yeah.
of your
Right.
child.
Yeah.
Um, in dating, I may have had a couple that were, really good, with my kid, but didn't create a safe enough space for longevity. Um,
Mm.
and so, but I'm very thankful at the things that I learned in those spaces too. I used to be so angry because I felt like my time was wasted.
Mm.
Mm.
I got outside of myself, as you all said before, when I stopped thinking about myself so much and started thinking about how God worked this out for me, for my good, I started
Mm-hmm.
able to appreciate even being in those spaces or even being in hurtful spaces so I can start learning what God needed me to learn to mature me. Yes, I'm growing in age. Yes, I'm growing in mental space, but God had to mature me spiritually. God had to mature me in Him in order to be able to recognize those spaces, learn from them, and to be able to be in this space where I'm supposed to be right now,
Mm-hmm.
creating this show to help people navigate through those spaces as well. Um,
Right.
I'm not supposed to be the quiet person in the corner. That's not who He created me to be. I used to get in trouble for laughing and talking in school. I'm supposed to be talking. My child, if you don't do what I need for you to do, I'm gonna make this hard for you. Okay, Lord, let me go ahead and get back in front of this camera and do what I'm supposed to do. And that
Mm.
um, I'm a teacher by nature. Lord knows, Tabby. I don't think I can teach in the folk school. Hats off to you, baby. I love you.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
So I'm gonna teach behind the camera for the people that's coming behind me by way of education for life.
That is still teaching.
And
It's still teaching.
but I know I'm a leader, I'm a teacher, and you have to be in the space where God needs you to be in order for
Mm.
God to bless you in every space that
Yes.
you want Him to bless you in, that you desire. It's not only a want, it's a desire. It's not only a desire, it's a need. And God knows all. God knows what you need. God knows what you desire. God knows what is best for you. God
Mm-hmm.
cares for you. So a lot of times we try to make things so difficult when it comes to the spirit realm,
Mhm.
when it comes to the church, you know, we can't be too churchy to where we miss the message.
That's
That's
so
right.
true.
That's true.
We can't be so
Mm-hmm.
churchy where people just don't even want to hear you because you're too churchy. They don't even understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Lord,
Yeah.
this is ministry, keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
Tay, and of course, in closing, Real Talks with Shay. Y'all, it's been a pleasure talking with y'all. I talk to y'all all the time anyway. So, but it's great talking to you all in this space. I love that you shared some of your stories with us, just a little bit. Lord knows if you just shared everything, honey, all of us will probably be on the floor when we press play. But it goes back to the message: love is what love does. Love is, oh, I got my notes. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Love is forgiveness. Love is seeing your spouse's point of view. Um, love is communication. Love is being humble. Love is being approachable. You said that thing, Tay. Sometimes you can articulate your love in writing a letter. You said
Mm.
that. Um, Sometimes love is letting go of our egos. Learning your love language is important.
It is.
Creating a safe space is love. Being patient and kind is love. Love is recognizing that it's not all about you. And love is being able and having the capacity to invest in your marriage. And we ain't talking about money, y'all.
No.
I got my notes. I feel like so I'm also going to share these notes on the page as well, on the channel as well. I hope you guys don't mind. I know you don't mind because you're on the show. So
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate this, y'all. You guys blessed me. This was actually a gift. So thank you so much. Do you all have anything to say before we close out this afternoon?
I just want to say thank you for allowing us to come on here and share our life story with you.
Of
We
course.
definitely appreciate all that you have done for us, and man, your cooking is. I'm still, hey, I might
salmon.
I might have to pull up today, come get me some salmon, y'all. I'm telling you, boy, ooh, Jesus.
I owe you guys a dinner for two. How about that?
Okay.
Yes.
That'll work. I would take that very much. Thank you much. and leave you a tip. But thank you so much, and to the listeners. As we said, guys, we're having a Love Your Spouse conference. And as we're just talking, this is the investment we're talking about in your relationship. It comes off in a couple of weeks. You can register on eventbrite.com/love your spouse, or email me at talkaboutit, TAT@gmail, or you can call 478-258-1284. And let me just say this. I'm going to be transparent. Some of us black folks, we wait to the last minute. Well, we got about 15 slots left, the last I checked.
Ooh, yay.
So if you guys want to get in, I would not prolong it. It's going to be awesome. It's definitely going to be awesome.
And it's not just for marriage. It's not just for married couples.
It is not.
It's not.
It is not.
Thank
Don't say, well, I'm not married, so I can't. No, come.
The part that I came in on was so phenomenal. I would never, ever, ever forget the space that I was able to share with you guys. Tay and Tavi, do not stop this for any reason with what you all are doing in that realm, in this ministry. Don't stop. Keep it growing. This is year 3.
It's year 3.
This is year 3. I can see this topping and you guys doing it outside of Middle Georgia. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I can see it. And having several conferences quarterly.
Thank you. Thank you.
But that wasn't for me. I'm just saying, Tay, come on now. Just get the ideas ready and find you some spaces outside of Middle Georgia because it's coming.
Well, can I just say this? I thank you for that, because that just confirmed something that I've been praying about, and I'm already, realistically, you don't even know it, but you kind of walking in my direction. So you just confirmed that. Of course, I'm moving as the Lord leads, but we definitely going to be doing that. It's going to be going, traveling. And here's a spoiler alert. September the 1st, I'm supposed to have a book coming out entitled Love Your Spouse.
I almost screamed, but I forgot I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, so.
Screamed. Congratulations, Tay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You come back to this space, tag me on my Facebook page so we can get this promoted. I got that all day long for the both of you, okay?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
It's been real, you guys. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the content. I greatly appreciate it. If you need to go away and come back, we all right with that too. But this was such a great conversation, and I hope to have you all back soon. And until next time, Real Talks with Shay is out.
All right.
See y'all.